It's pumpkin time, boys and girls. Did you know all pumpkins, gourds, and squash that grow in the fall are all organic shapes? Remember, organic shapes are shapes that are created by nature. So those things that you see outside every day, plus the foods that you eat like fruits and vegetables, even the shape of your hand and foot is an organic shape. Here's an example of how we're going to start our pumpkins for our artwork this week. Notice how we start by drawing an oval in the middle of our paper. We're going to make our pumpkins all different sizes. Did you know, boys and girls, that Van Gogh's most famous painting is Starry Night? He's using a lot of organic shapes and lines in his art, isn't he? And there's something special about Starry Night. So many people love the painting so much that they use it for inspiration for their own artwork. So lots of artists all around the world have used Starry Night as a way to inspire their own Starry Night pictures. Let's see a couple examples. Here's some examples of student artwork where they combine the pumpkins outside at nighttime with a starry night sky. Can you see all the organic shapes that they use? How about the swirls and dashed and dotted lines in the sky? Just like Van Gogh did. Now let's watch this so we can see how to get started.
All right, it's pumpkin time, boys and girls. We are going to make a beautiful Starry Night pumpkin patch by starting with a white sheet of paper and a black crayon. We're going to make several sizes of pumpkins. I'm going to show you how to make big pumpkins and little pumpkins, and then we'll do the vines for the pumpkins and the really cool Van Gogh Starry Night sky, just like if Van Gogh were outside painting pumpkins at nighttime. So let's start in the middle of our paper with our black crayon, making an oval shape, just like this. Make it kind of big, not too small, because we're going to make a big pumpkin to start with. And then in order to turn that into a pumpkin, I'm going to connect on the side of it a curved line on one side, facing that way, and then a curved line on the opposite side, facing the other way. Now I could leave it just like that, or if I wanted my pumpkin to get even bigger, I could add another curved line on this side and another curved line on that side. Wow, that looks like a really nice big pumpkin. Then right here at the top, you put the stem. There's our pumpkin right there. Now that's a pretty big pumpkin. If I want to make a smaller size pumpkin, I would start with a smaller oval. And I could repeat the same process. A curved line attached to one side and a curved line attached to the other side. Again, I could leave it just like that, or I could make it a little bit wider if I want to. And then go ahead and put the stem on it. Pretty good. Now I've got a big pumpkin and a smaller pumpkin. Let's say I wanted to make a little baby pumpkin. Doing those are pretty easy. I can just make two curved lines facing each other and a little wavy line on the bottom. Add some curved lines in the middle and a little boop right there, little stem on top. I'm going to add another one over here to make it look even more like a pumpkin patch. Maybe this one's going to be bigger, but not quite as big as the first one we made. Make my oval, round and round and round, curved line on one side, curved line on the other side. And it is okay if our pumpkins bump into each other. That happens out in nature. The pumpkins will grow next to each other, so they're kind of like next door neighbors, sharing the same space. Ooh, that's another big pumpkin. Now this one also needs a stem on it, just like that. I've got lots of pumpkins. Maybe I'm going to put one little last one right here. We'll make this one smaller. Maybe this is a little baby pumpkin, and he's just starting to grow. Curved line on one side, curved line on the other side, stem. Now you notice pumpkins come in all different shapes and sizes, but that's not the only thing that you see in a pumpkin patch next to the pumpkins. There are also vines that grow. In order to make this look like a real pumpkin patch, we're going to use wavy lines to make the vines. Connecting two wavy lines together, going off, you can spiral those lines, make the vines go in a spiral, wavy line, spiral. So we're using all our different organic shapes and lines to make it look like it does outside in nature, where you find lots of organic shapes. Spirals and wavy lines. And then the last thing is pumpkins have leaves that grow on them. And leaves, of course, are another organic shape. I can do two curved lines together to make a leaf. Put some veins down the middle. Add leaves to my pumpkin patch. Because those vines in real life have leaves growing on them. And I'm going to add a few. I could even add a leaf up there near the top of my pumpkin too. So now that I've got some vines and leaves and it's starting to look like a real pumpkin patch, I'm going to think about my sky. I want to show you how to make the moon. To do this, just start with a very, very light circle. Just like that. You don't even have to push on your crayon. And then I'm going to turn the edge of it into a forward-facing C. And to make the crescent shape of my moon, I'm going to draw a little C in the middle of it. Just like that. Look at that. I got a moon. Now this moon is going to stay white, but we are going to use a yellow marker to trace all around it. One of the things that Van Gogh did to make his Starry Night look really special is he put yellow all around his stars and his moon to make them seem like they were glowing. So we'll put some yellow around our moon, and then we'll go ahead and we'll make some stars in our sky with yellow dots. You could make little dots for your stars, or if you know how to draw a star shape, you can draw a star shape. But sometimes yellow dots work just as well, and they're easier to draw. Then, after I do my yellow dots, that's when you start making dashed lines. Notice how I used all different dashed lines in my sky to make that Van Gogh Starry Night. So I'm going to take my marker, and I'm going to go dash, 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 dash all around my moon, all around my stars. Dash, 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 dash. I want to see if you can make 100 dashes. Making them all around your stars is what's going to make your stars look like they're glowing. We're going to first do this with yellow, and then we're going to do it with orange. Lots of dashed lines around my moon. Really make the moon look like it's glowing. Really make those stars look like they're glowing. And now I'm going to put my yellow away, get out my orange marker, and go ahead and do the same thing. Put some dashed lines around my moon again. All around my stars. Now you can kind of really see how they show up. And that's how Mr. Van Gogh painted. He painted with lots of dashed and wavy lines going all around his sky to make it seem like the stars were glowing. Almost like a treasure map. Ooh, that looks pretty cool. Now that I've got the orange on there, I'm not done yet. Because also in the starry night sky, you would sometimes see a little bit of purple and a little bit of blue. So I'm going to grab a blue marker and I'm going to add some blue dashed lines. Now what you'll notice is when the blue goes over top of the yellow, it makes kind of like a greenish color. And when the blue goes over top of the orange, it almost makes like a brownish color. And that's okay. Van Gogh knew that. He knew that the colors would blend together when he put them side by side like that. I've got lots of blue dashed lines, and I can add a little bit of violet. Now the violet is really going to go just on the outside edge. I hope you have a lot of fun making those dashed lines in your Starry Night sky. I think it's a lot of fun. Okay, now the last thing you're going to do to your sky before you say you're done is we'll take a couple colors of crayons and we're going to color in all that white space, because remember, it's supposed to be nighttime. And I'm going to start with the blue, and I'm going to take that blue and I'm going to go between all my pumpkins and try to get really in those small spaces around the pumpkins so it looks like nighttime. And then I'll take the time and lightly shade around my moon, trying really hard not to color my moon because my moon's going to stay white. And then I'm going to shade over top of all of my dashed lines. Now some of you might say, Mrs. Kelly, why did we not use black? Because black sometimes will make things too dark, and we really want things to show up like Starry Night. So a lot of times when artists paint a nighttime sky, they don't actually use very much black. They use a lot of dark blue, they use violet sometimes, and then might add a little bit of black to it. So you can do that too. You can take a purple crayon and mix it in with your blue to give it that kind of spacey color. And you could add a little bit of black too if you want to make it look a little bit darker. All right, so you can keep working on your sky. I'm going to finish mine later because I want to show you how to do the pumpkins. The next part for the pumpkins, we're going to need an orange marker to do our outline, an orange crayon to color the inside, and a green marker. I'm going to use this lime green color. Now, just like we've done before with our markers, we're going to outline our pumpkins with the nice bright orange color. We're not going to color in our pumpkins with the marker just yet because I want you to see how cool it looks like outlined. And then we'll use our crayons to color the insides, just like we've been doing with our last few projects. Looks pretty cool, huh? Do the same thing with my green. I can color my stem green. I can outline my leaves, do all of my vines. So we're going to color all those spaces. And another thing I wanted to show you, another thing you can do on the ground to really make it look like a Van Gogh drawing is do those spiral lines and dashed lines with green on the ground too. Got lots of green going on there. Okay, now I did not finish outlining all my pumpkins because I'm going to do that later. I just wanted to show you how to finish your pumpkins off by coloring them really nicely with your orange marker to make them look like spectacular Starry Night pumpkins. And then the very last thing I'm going to do before I say I'm done is I'm going to take a little bit of brown and I'm going to color in all that white space in my ground, because if it's really nighttime outside, the ground isn't going to stay white, is it? It wouldn't look like nighttime if the ground was white. So I'm going to take my brown crayon and I'm going to see if I can get between all those little spaces of the vines and get around all my little pumpkins so it looks like a real farm field. And when we're done, this will look like a Van Gogh Starry Night pumpkin masterpiece. I hope you have fun for pumpkin time. I can't wait to see your amazing Van Gogh pumpkin patches. Have fun drawing, boys and girls. See you later. Bye-bye.